Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we'll be looking at every best in slot weapon in Escape from Tarkov as of 12.11.2. This is going to be a longer video, so I want to lay out some information, disclaimers, or guidelines, but I'll save those for the end of the video. So if you see a specific best in slot build and start to publish an essay in the comments section without watching the end, I hope that you get head eyes by a shotgun scav from 50 meters away. In the description, I'm going to include timestamps to all of the weapons and for any additional information if you'd like to jump around. In the future, I do plan on doing a more in-depth analysis of each individual gun, with costs and requirements for purchase, but for now, we're just going to be looking at the builds themselves. For each weapon, if viable, I will include a suppressed and an unsuppressed variant. Let's get into the builds. Alright, there's all of the builds. Now let's talk about all of the ins and outs of my methods to determine them. Keep in mind that while I have triple checked these, there are almost 100 weapons in the game, with ever evolving stats. If you notice what you believe to be a mistake, go ahead and let us all know. First, ridiculously expensive items that offer a technical best-in-slot statistic aren't being considered. Yeah, we all know that the red SI Advanced Buffer Tube is better than the black one, but using hard-to-find prime items for fluctuation that offer negligible advantage in a best-in-slot build is not helpful for the average viewer. Secondly, with the exception of the first rule, price and level is not a factor. Most weapon mods that are best in slot are locked behind max level traders and tend to be expensive. That makes sense for progression, so don't be surprised when some of these items are inaccessible at your current level. Third, if the build has the capability and it makes sense to, it includes a tactical device. I'll be using the Steiner D-Bow flashlight, with it and every other tactical device in the game reducing a build's ergo by 1. If you argue that's not best in slot, I'm just going to argue that without it, the build isn't properly complete. In tandem with this, on all of my builds, I don't include sights and magazines, as these are players' preference and any ergo fluctuations will be up to you. Additionally, you can use any +1 iron sights, I just use the CAC micros. Fourth, I like to fill every slot if I can, meaning that if a handguard can fit 5 2.5-inch rails on it, I'm going to put 5 2.5-inch rails on it. 9 out of 10 times this doesn't affect the ergonomics. The SVD's L1 mount rail and the sprut mount for shotguns are exceptions to this rule, but I still have them on because A, I want to, and B, I can do this. Fifth, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've included a suppressed and an unsuppressed variant for each weapon. And as also mentioned before, I use the best in slot mod regardless of price. This does not mean that I recommend some builds be suppressed. For a prime example, the best in slot suppressor for many of the 5.45x39mm AKs is the Silencer Co. Hybrid 46 multi-caliber silencer. This suppressor sucks. Its advantages are negligible and it carries an additional 72% durability burn. I would never use it, but it's technically best in slot and some people might want it suppressed. Sixth, and I've pushed this one off as far as I can for a reason, best in slot is ultimately in the eye of the beholder, with two main statistics being the source of contention, those being vertical recoil and ergonomics. This topic needs an entire video, but for now, to make a long story short, in situations where there's a difference in attachment that could either slightly give ergonomics the edge or slightly give recoil the edge, I choose ergonomics 99% of the time. As I said, I have to make a video on this because this is one of the strongest debates with weapon builds, but understand there is a reason that every build uses the shift grip. If you want to destroy your ergo with an RK2, be my guest. On screen, you should see now some examples of a toss-up between ergo and recoil attachments for many builds, so if you want to, go wild if you're drooling for that -2 recoil. Finally, and most importantly, these builds are susceptible to change at any time. Wipe after wipe, the same attachments will typically be best in slot, but minor changes happen all the time. Meaning that in 12.12 or something as simple as 12.11.4 or 12.11.5, some attachments may get nerfed or buffed, or a weapon may change base stats, changing how weapon mods react with it. For example, the SRD sound suppressor and the 2-port brake with the T-lock used to be meta on every gun it could be put on, but now it's not best in slot for any weapon. Things change, so be ready for them. If you've stuck with me this long, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider liking the video or even subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one, but until then, good luck in your raids.